Warning, this episode of AzFk contains graphic depictions of violence and gore. Viewer discretion is advised.
Anomalous Foundations have recently seized all evidence relating to a police case believed to be connected to several brutal homicides. The reason behind it remained mysterious, until recently. Leovincible released this image depicting an entity, alongside the caption, Ragboy. While these might seem unrelated at first, it's the nature of the murders, and the caption of the evidence that prove their connection. The bodies of the deceased were all found displayed in unique, strange, and horrific art house manners. However, there are some consistencies in each case. Sewing needles and thread used to manipulate the poses of the body and mutilate the body parts. The eyes, mouth, nostrils, ears, even both front and back naughty holes were found either sewn open or closed. The body is either suspended in the air, or sewn into furniture, onto walls, to the ceiling, everything in the kitchen sink. And I don't just mean the saying, he sewed one guy to a kitchen sink. Wherever they're found, the victim's body and limbs are posed in lifelike stances, all held in place by sewing thread. The police and media alike were stunned at the intricacy of the scenes, and noted that almost superhuman care and skill must have gone into this almost artistic horror show. The media was following the alleged serial killings, and the local presses had given the perpetrator a name, Ragboy. I don't know why they named the serial killer that, but at least they didn't give him a cool serial killer name like the Iceman or the Salami Strangler. I feel like if we want people to stop serial killing, we have to give them embarrassing names in the media. Like Wet the Bed Until He Was 17, the Ripper. Statistically true, by the way, serial killers pee the bed for way too long, look it up. As the cases piled up and got more attention, the Foundation took notice and monitored the town where this was occurring closely. Eventually, they found their man, Ragboy critter thing. A security camera captured the entity murdering and then carefully setting up his victim in the final frame of a Fortnite dance. With this information, the Foundation moved to observe the entity in its natural habitat before moving to containment. It's totally not that they couldn't get their supernatural DMV asses in gear to put this pointy dish rag in a box. That's for sure. Leo may have gotten this image from the same security leak, and it brings vital information in understanding this creature's physiology. At first glance, he may appear to be a being made entirely out of cloth and thread. Patchwork burlap skin held together by frayed gray threads, two bright orange button eyes stitched in with a crisscross pattern, and fingers webbed together by string, dangling a litany of sharp needles. Upon further examination, it's clear that he has a set of human teeth and gums, meaning that he's at least partially biological in nature. It's possible that the burlap and thread is only skin deep, leaving a possibility that what's under it was human. From the Foundation's observation, it became clear that this entity was violent, but perhaps not inherently malicious. While Ragboy is murdering individuals in horrific manners and using needles and string to pose them like action figures on a chubby kid's desk, evidently, he's only doing it to people who have done some fucked up things. The majority of his victims have abusive tendencies, violent felonies, or like, at least littered or something. We can only hope that Ragboy's idea of good and bad line up with your own. Everyone thinks they're the good guy, especially the bad guy. I'm fairly sure that Kim Jong-un thinks he's like the best guy. So, just saying. Sometimes, the body display is clearly a message specifically for the individual victim. For example, Ragboy once visited a politician who lied to an entire town about the safety of a mining structure, only to have the structure collapse, killing over 100 men, famously and gruesomely decapitating one on camera. This politician was found hanging upside down by the legs from the rubble of the very same structure, his head sloppily sawed off at the neck, but suspended from the stub by several threads, his mouth sewn shut, his eyes sewn open, peering directly down at his crimes. Another of Ragboy's victims was this creep who would grope people on the subway. He was found with his hands sewn around his dick and balls in a masturbatory pose, bringing a whole new meaning to the phrase, "go fuck yourself." This one time, and I have no idea what the guy did, but he sewed a deaf guy's ears shut. And then he got taken off Twitter. Elon put him back on though, and then everyone kind of forgot about it when we all rightfully told Mr. Beast how terrible he was for making that child no longer blind. Oh wait, shit, I think Ragboy also sewed that kid's eyes shut. You know, maybe the Foundation is wrong. I think he might just be doing this at random. By the way, none of this is canon, I made it all up. If you like this video for some reason, want me to come back and talk more about weird nonsensical critters, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications enabled. And watch all my other stuff, or I'll tell Ragboy you did a bad thing. Shout out the inner circle. Love y'all.